ones with a twist, no script. Legends coming through on the guest list. Tasting in the soda like the lakes, full Green Bay. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, let's go with the walls, you know we don't play. We get wild every single day. We got our flaws, but we love our saints. Twist names, go there like our page.
What up? What up? What up?
You're always burying your head in the computer when we're doing the intro, and Mike and I are animated.
Oh, he does almost the same thing every week. It's a beautiful thing. I just let you guys.
It's called consistency, and it's called Twist, the Weekend Sports Talk, episode 24. Kobe, R.I.P. We actually have some Kobe news today.
Yeah.
So we're live right now on Facebook, on Twist Sports Talk, on the RTF Sports Network, our affiliate.
Yep.
You can also find us at Twist Sports Talk on all the social media platforms. And, of course, our website. Greg, what's our website?
Something, twistsportstalk.com.
Yeah, sorry.
Greg's not big
don't
on
ask
the social
Wisconsinites
networking
questions here. So
yeah, that's
unbelievable. So how you fellas doing today?
we're good. We're great.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
A little rainy out, but, great day to be sports are coming back. So it's like we're actually going to have, real stuff to talk about.
Hopefully.
We do have a great show lined up for you. We have a guest interview who was there and disappeared, so we will wait a minute to bring him on. All of our interviews are brought to you by
Bricks.
Boatworks. They are deemed essential, just like everybody else starting Monday. We're back to work. I got back to work last week. Ben's has been working.
Been out there.
Greg's been trying to work on a belly, but his metabolism at his age still works for some reason. We were just talking before the show, his cholesterol level is probably going to bring him down a little bit. He might not be here when the Vikes win their first Super Bowl. So.
How old do you expect me to live? 130?
Oh, jabs.
I thought you were already there.
Nah, I'm getting close, though.
Yeah.
My daughter told me this morning not to worry that I'm not even to midway point of my life yet.
Really?
To which I said, how long do you want me to live?
Ouch.
That's asking a lot of me.
I really hope that your value of living, or what is it called? Your
value of life.
Quality of life
Yeah.
is good at $1.50.
Yeah,
I think it will be good.
It's like, Dad, you're not even to the halfway point. I'm like, that means I'm going to be over 88. I don't know if I really want that.
Well, that'd be phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
If you're healthy, I wouldn't mind living to, 314.
I'm healthy.
As long as I can still throw some disc
as
and
long
play
as you
some
can still
golf.
dunk, it'll be all right.
Yeah.
44 of them, Duncan.
Yeah, I don't believe it. So let's get to our first guest interview to kick off the show. Like I said, we have a great show lined up for you. We have a new game, and I think Doge might have a chance this week. So we're bringing on Stan Norfleet. You can find him at Stan Fleet Sports. He played some D1 college football at Virginia. He's a sports talk host, football analyst, and sports opinionist.
Yeah.
Let's bring him on.
Stan the man, what's going on?
Fellas, what's happening? Greetings from the nation's capital.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Welcome in, man.
Man, thanks for having me.
Were you having some technical difficulties? I saw you
I don't know. Bro, it's crazy. We're all, doing these different chat rooms and videos. And who the hell knows, bro? We are beholden to what's going on in the sky. So here I am. I'm locked in, man. Appreciate you guys having me again.
Yeah, of course. So I had mentioned kind of introducing you. You played some college ball at Virginia. How was that whole process, the recruitment, getting there, playing, that whole thing?
Well, my situation was crazy because I went to 3 different high schools. I started my high school career in the state of Alabama, actually, which is where my mother's side of the family is from. So I did freshman, sophomore year in Alabama. After my freshman season, Tennessee started recruiting me. So I was, embedded in SEC country, whatever. We ended up moving to Charlotte, which is my hometown. And some of those same schools came around. I think at the end of it, I ended up being a 4-star prospect. And at the end of it, I think I had something like 63 scholarship offers. And it was weird because it was everybody from Harvard to the Air Force Academy And I mean, Notre Dame, Penn State, and then you had Virginia. At that time, they were a top 25 program. They were the nation's #1 public institution, top 25 nationally recognized college and university. And they just put Patrick Kearney at my position to the Falcons in the first round. So I was like, add it all up, I'm in. Let's go. And we've ridden the roller coaster since then.
So you think there's going to be a season this year?
I was just listening to Urban Meyer on a podcast coming in, getting ready for you guys. And I do think at some point they're going to play college football. I think that, first of all, let's be clear. We just talked about reference to the SEC. The Southeastern Conference is going to play football no matter what. Like, that's happening. Yeah. That's big boy balls, a lot of revenue. They understand that. That's going to happen, I presume, scheduled. The other Power Fives, I would say probably. Now, I get a little cautious when I think about up your way, right? Big Ten country. I hear that the viruses typically don't cooperate in terms of the virus moving forward in warmer climates. So I think perhaps in the warmer states. Now, it's been proposed that some of these schools or some of these conferences, they're only going to play conference games. But, like, they only going to play conference games that matter in a certain vicinity. I don't know. I've heard all type of crazy game plans. Do I think we're going to play mostly? Yes. Some of those smaller Division II schools or even some of those FCS programs, I'm not sure, man.
Yeah, it will definitely be tough. I mean, there is so much revenue in it. And obviously, it's big for these student athletes' future. Obviously, you want to play in order to get on to the next level. So I think they'll make it happen. It's also that tough thing about, well, if this season starts late and then next season starts on time,
there you go.
What is the incentive for these first rounders potentially next year to play this shorter season? The risk of injury and things like that. It'll be interesting to see for sure.
I think it's critical. If I could, one other point on this, I think it's critical, having been on the business side of collegiate athletics as well, working for IMG College at the University of Kentucky. Let's just be clear. Even at basketball schools like Kentucky, Kansas, Duke, football makes the money. Now, you have other programs like Duke basketball clearly makes money, but they don't make the revenue that football does. That comes from TV deals, that comes from bowl games, and the revenue sharing that happens being associated with the college football playoff. So when you add all this up, there are going to be not just programs, and I'll use my alma mater, University of Virginia. The athletic department, first of all, is self-funded. We don't use any money from the state to take care of anybody's scholarship at Virginia. There are a lot of Power 5 schools that do the same thing. With that being said, the athletic department at UVA also cuts the school back a very hefty check every year. So that brand new sociology lab and library and biology and all the crap that we may not use, a lot of that is coming from dudes kicking off on Saturday. So I always implore sports fans to show the respect to the guys that are out there on Saturday paying the bills, essentially.
So we do have Green Bay Greg here. He's our
Green Bay Greg. That's funny.
if our camera was wider and we'd able to do it, he'd be sitting over there in the corner. But as it is, he's here with us. So playing at Virginia, did you have a chance to play against his squad, Wisconsin?
Yeah, we opened up against Wisconsin. They did like a coach's classic kickoff. This is 2001. Rained like hell, lightning everywhere. It was like an hour and a half delay. And I believe Lee Evans was the receiver. He torched us. Taylor, I believe, was the running back, had a very good day. And you'd be pleasantly surprised. Like UVA, we've had over the years, a lot of people, when they think UVA, they think Rondé and Tiki Barber. Chris Long was after me. Heath Miller was a guy that I played with. So we've had our share of NFL guys that come through there, first-round guys. Thomas Jones was, I think he finished 6th behind Rondé the year Rondé won the Heisman Trophy. What's that, 1999 season. So we've had our guys, but, man, we went down there to Camp Randall, and it was just an ugly game start the year. It was the first year of our new head coach, Al Groh. So Al Groh leaves the New York Jets. He was the head coach for the Jets for one season, comes back to Charlottesville, his alma mater, and it was a bumpy start, but we ended up getting it rolling. I think Chris Long and those guys got up to like number 5 in the country around 2004 or so. So that's my memory of Camp Randall. We didn't win the game. Beautiful facility, beautiful stadium, but yeah, Barry Alvarez kicked our ass.
Greg's dad knows the Watt family well. Obviously, JJ.
Oh boy,
we call him Justin James here. That's Greg's fake best friend. What are your thoughts on JJ Justin James out of Wattage?
So how did this go? So I played my 5th year at Texas Southern, Strahan's alma mater down in Houston. They paid for the Masters. Al Groh and I just didn't see eye to eye. It really was a football philosophy. I had never played in a 3-4 defense before until Al Groh brought that to Charlottesville. So I had to try and learn to stand up, and J.J. Watt obviously plays in a 3-4 in Houston and has for a very long time. This will be Anthony Weaver's first year as defensive coordinator in Houston, so he's going to still employ a lot of those 3-4 principles, so J.J. will be comfortable. I say all to say that was my integration into Houston, actually worked for the Texans, worked for the Rockets, after completing grad school there in Houston. So I know the Texans organization very well. Have not met JJ, but have done a lot of radio and still do in the Houston market. And they always give me some stuff about Justin James. Look, JJ is a badass. We all understand that. I'm not taking anything away from the man. But I'm not ready to put him in the same class with Lawrence Taylor and Deion Sanders and Reggie White. Like, hold on now. And the reason why, and people always say, Stan, quit hating on the white dude because he's a baller. I'm not hating on the dude because he's white, right? JJ's a badass. I just think that, and we get into this with Michael Jordan too. I think we're going to talk about MJ in a little bit too.
Yep.
Some of our athletes and even our celebrities, right? We put them in this bubble and we create this force field that is impenetrable because they're so likable. And for whatever reason, it's like you can't criticize or critique their performance without being viewed as a hater for them as an individual. And I'm like, no, I separate who you are as a dude. JJ raised a ton of cash for the people affected by Hurricane Harvey down in the Gulf South. So I will always respect that, right? I believe in giving back. I believe in leveraging the platform to do what you can to help people. And regardless of what you read or hear, I don't have anything against anybody. You understand? But also get paid to, or at least used to, I used to get paid to give my opinion on the football analysis. And JJ has not consistently performed at the level of those other men I mentioned. Deion was all-decade team for 2 decades. Reggie White. Lawrence Taylor. When you start talking about a guy like Lawrence Taylor changed conventional blocking schemes of the time. All that side protection, chipping, keeping the tight end in the block, all that was for Reggie White. He literally made offensive coordinators go back to the drawing board and reconfigure how we do this. JJ isn't quite on that level, but he is a baller.
Yep. Let's stay in the NFL. I know you did some business development for the Cowboys and just following your social media, which you can follow Stan at Stan Sportsman, both on Twitter.
God bless you. I appreciate that. Yeah, man.
So speaking of the Cowboys, what's your take on kind of the Dak Prescott situation?
Oh, here we go.
Yep.
This is probably the number one topic that I'm burning on in all of sports right now. Everybody's talking last dance and all we gonna play, and I get all that. You got to cover your base. But man, this Dak Prescott ordeal. So let me ask you this, and it's crazy you're interviewing me, but I'm asking you. Yes or no? Would you guys pay Dak the money that is reported he's asking for? Or
Yep.
let me rephrase the question: is Dak Prescott a top 5 quarterback in this league?
No.
Would you pay him as a top 5 quarterback in this league?
Yes.
You have to.
Why?
Because we paid Kirk Cousins.
Who else do you have?
We're going to come back to Kirk. Captain Kirk, we're going to come back there. Who else do I have?
Yeah, Jerry Jones, he's trying to win now. And with Dak, I think they screwed up last year by feeding into Zeke. When you sign an offensive lineman, a middle linebacker, and a running back, those are all positions that you can replace. A quarterback is not. When you have a quarterback who's 26 years old, who's won playoff games for you, you have to make
one playoff game, singular. One playoff game.
Whatever.
Yep.
That's my opinion.
So, okay, I did ask your opinion, and I see where you guys are. All right, so let's look at this. And I think the person that has been as passionate in terms of a diametrically opposed position to me on this topic is Shannon Sharp. If you watch FS1, Shannon Sharp is so pro pay Dak Prescott. So here's the money in the contract that is reported by some folks in Dallas that I trust. Mike Fisher is somebody that you might want to look up. It's reported that Dak Prescott has been offered $35 million a year with $106 million guaranteed, and the Cowboys are trying to make that a 5-year deal. $35 million a year is where Russell Wilson gets paid. It'd be top of the market money. $106 million guaranteed, and we got to get into a different conversation of what's guaranteed versus fully guaranteed. A lot of time fans read that and they misconstrue what that actually means. Well, I'll come back to that. 106 fully guaranteed. It's like $1 million less than Jared Goff, and it's like $4 million less than Carson Wentz. Ironically, they're all the same draft class. So here I am. When you look at the guys that are in the top 10, certainly the top 5 highest paid in the National Football League, here's what you'll find. They've either been MVP, played in a Super Bowl, or won a Super Bowl. That doesn't fit that description. And if you look at what's happening right now, the college game is producing better quarterbacks that are ready to play sooner than they used to be. So I can look in this draft, and Jared's in a position to go, look, not only do I have a backup in Andy Dalton, a guy that's won playoff games, a guy that's a serviceable starter, look at the weapons that I have around him. We're still a playoff team, Dak, with or without you. Now, you haven't proven that you can carry us. If I'm paying you $35 million a year, I need you to be able to carry us over the finish line like Russell Wilson has done since the Legion of Boom, like Aaron Rodgers does, like Tom Brady does when his receivers, that cast of bandits that he had last year, like you got to be able to elevate people. Now, Dak is a fantastic leader. I love all of his intangibles. He upset me with some of that, we're doing the whole Catholic, are we going to kneel, are we going to stand? He upset me a little bit with that because I thought he had the platform and the position to be more vocal on social issues. Part of my issue with Michael Jordan, we'll get to that again here in a little bit. I would not pay that top 5 money in the market. It's just proven when you pay a guy like that, it doesn't work. And so Kirk Cousins has been vocal, right? Kirk Cousins said that, hey, man, bet on yourself. It worked for me. I got franchise tagged twice, and then somehow, some way, who's my guy, GM of the Vikings? Why can I not say his?
Rick Spielman, the best GM
there we go.
ever created by God himself.
So Rick Spielman decides, okay, Captain Kirk, here's what we're going to do. We're going to hit you with what? What is it, 94? Is it 94 million, 3 years guaranteed?
Yeah.
I can't do it, Dak. I can't do it. Now, Dak is, and here's why, and lastly, I think Dak is in trouble. He's right now tied to the franchise tag, which he has not signed. I don't know about you guys, but everything that I see on the news tells me the financial markets and the salary cap for the National Football League this upcoming season is unstable. We have no idea where the revenues are going to come in at next year. That impacts the salary cap. Number 2, we talked about the college game. Here comes Trevor Lawrence. Here comes Justin Fields. Here comes Jamie Newman. It's going to be at Georgia. North Dakota State has another. Go say that again.
Tanner Morgan.
Yep. Quarterback.
Tanner Morgan is the name that I've heard. Yep. Here comes other guys. Look around the league, Dak. Who needs a quarterback that's willing to pay you that type of money? Who needs a quarterback right now? Jacksonville? Right, because they have a history of paying dudes top of the market money, right?
What?
Yannick Ngakoue, their best pass rusher, all pro, he wants out of there right now. Dak, where are you going to go? New England? When's the last time Belichick paid somebody top of the line, top of the market money? Dak he's played chicken and his time has expired. Coming back to Kirk Cousins, then I'll be done with that part. Kirk Cousins was the first quarterback in the history of the league to be franchise tagged back-to-back years. So you want Dak to be an anomaly, to do it twice? So he's got to get through 2 healthy seasons to try and do what Kirk did. It's a bad formula. Dak, you just buried your brother. May he rest in peace. Your older brother, Chase. Dak, on your coffee table is a contract for 9 figures. Brother, you're a 4th-round draft pick. Take the money. It just makes sense.
So we're talking with Stan Norfleet right now. Again, you can find him at Stan Sportsmans. All of our interviews are brought to you by Bricks Boatworks.
Yes.
So let's stick with quarterbacks in the NFL. Cam Newton, been to the Super Bowl, former MVP, number 1 overall pick. He's homeless. Why?
It's funny. So you asked the second topic that I'm most passionate about when it comes to the National Football League right now. All right, so a little bit of background. I mentioned that Charlotte is kind of hometown. And so I've covered the Panthers doing some local radio there in Charlotte on WFNZ for 4 years. We did the ACC content out of Charlotte, so I'm very familiar with the Panthers organization. I also, again, originally from Atlanta, southwest side of the city, the same neighborhood as Cam Newton. Needless to say, I'm extremely tight with the Cam Newton camp. Now, the things that I'm about to tell you, I cannot report that they came from him per se. All right. But this is the overall thought process. Cam Newton is one of the most polarizing figures we've ever had in the history of the NFL, the modern history of the NFL, right? The Charlotte community didn't want him coming out of school. Remember, he had the whole laptop and had to transfer from Florida, and was he on the take to get to Auburn and all of that? I don't care about any of that. What I care about is when we strap up this helmet, do you lead men to victory? And the bottom line for me is this, and you can go look at it for yourself. Cam Newton is the only player in the history of the NFL to be the franchise leader in both passing and rushing. Vic didn't do it. Lamar may get there. He's off to a damn good start. You also look at if Cam continues his projection in the next 2 seasons, he will pass Michael Vick in rushing yards career for a quarterback, and he'll also pass Steve Young in passing yards. My point, Cam Newton is a 30-year-old former MVP that is about to be the best dual-threat quarterback we've ever seen. Why is he out of work? Remember that bubble, that force field we talked about earlier with Justin James, Watt, and Michael Jordan? Well, yeah, it can work the other way too. One of the things that bothers me about the media, fellas, is we have power. I teach this to young people all the time. The most valuable resource on earth, other than oxygen and water and time, is information, more than money. With the right information, I can always go get more money, okay? Stan, why the hell are you bringing this up? The media has put a lot of misinformation into the marketplace about what Cam Newton is. We don't like how he dressed. Is he focused? I hear Colin Cowherd say every day, Cam is distracted. Tom Brady has a baby out of wedlock. Nobody calls that a distraction. We got to be careful with the stigma and stereotypes that we put on people with the platform that we've been given as pundits. It's dangerous. Have I loved everything that Cam has done? No, there have been some bumps along the way. That being said, people try and tell me, Stan, oh, well, we haven't seen the real Cam in a year and a half. Okay, did we say that about Brady when he did his knee week 1? Other quarterbacks have been injured. We didn't write Drew Brees off. When his rotator cuff tore the opposite way, Dr. James Andrews down in Alabama said he had never seen an injury like Drew Brees' before. He didn't know where to start. Why is it that Cam, and here's what I believe, because if you go look at his performance, and I'll get off my soapbox, if you go look at his numbers, the first 8 games, the first half season of 2018, Cam was an MVP candidate. He had like a 4-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. His completion percentage was hovering around 70%, and that's coming off of shoulder surgery. I'm going to need people to go watch the tape at the last time we saw Cam healthy. And if you go to his Instagram and you look at him running around, I know it sounds like I'm campaigning for him. I just think it's a shame that a brother that's 30 years old that has been as productive, an MVP, and played in the Super Bowl isn't getting benefit of the doubt. So I can tell you, here's his plan, having spoken with him in the camp. He has never come publicly and says that he turned down any backup jobs. He's never said that. Nor has his representation said that. they've decided that they're going to lay low, stay ready, and if and when somebody goes down during training camp, and here we are on a shortened season, some of these young pups aren't going to be ready to go. Like about Joe Burrow being great, and I wasn't high on Joe Burrow, but they can talk about Joe Burrow being ready. Now, Cincinnati's a little because they don't have playoff aspirations. But I'm thinking about a team like the Denver Broncos. If Drew Lock isn't ready to go, you plug in a guy like Cam Newton, you got a chance to win the AFC. So my whole point is Cam has decided he's going to sit back and wait. But the reason he doesn't have a job is the perception that he's going to be a distraction, kind of like Tim Tebow, where we can't have Tim Tebow in the building. His cult following is going to make things difficult for the starter. It's called pro sports. It's showbiz. It ain't called show friends.
I love that. Well, let's get out of the NFL. We'll end on, probably the biggest thing on TV right now, which is The Last Dance. That'll air tomorrow, the final 2 episodes. I know I've tuned in. I think we all have to every single episode. What are your thoughts on kind of the show? And then I know you and I, we're in a different camp other than Michael Jordan.
Yeah. So I won't go on such an extended soliloquy on this one. Look, it's just real simple. Michael Jordan is arguably the greatest competitor we've ever seen, right? We can't call him the greatest champion in team sports we've ever seen because there are other guys that have more rings, right? I used to call him the greatest team sport player I ever seen. Can't call him that anymore. Tom Brady is. As many rings, more final appearances, quite frankly, more championship game appearances, and quite frankly, it's harder to play quarterback in the National Football League than it is to play 2-guard in the NBA. Overall, Michael Jordan. And for whatever reason, people, again, being Charlotte, Mike is the majority owner of the Charlotte Hornets. I have worked for that organization as well. I've had a lot of damn jobs, I know. So I know that organization well. I don't have an issue with Mike. Mike was not a great person on the floor, in the building. Mike wasn't a great teammate. So I hear Skip Bayless, for example, try and sell me that Michael Jordan's style of leadership, like it's okay to bully people, to disrespect people that you work with for the sake of winning. To me, that's not leadership. Now, I'm not saying you can't get on guys and motivate guys, but why should I have to tear you down to build us up? What leadership is to me is when I can inspire you to want to live up to the very best that you have to offer based on what's within you. I don't think you have to tear people down. Now, on the floor, Mike was fantastic. But here's what separates Mike and LeBron to me. LeBron does, okay, you guys are baseball fans. You'll get this. Why is Mike Trout the best player in the league? He's a 5'2" player, right?
Yep.
Okay. Some people may argue Mookie is, but okay. LeBron James is a 5'2" NBA player. Literally, LeBron James does more things with a basketball better than MJ. Now, some people are going to go to advanced stats, and LeBron wins his fair share of head-to-head advanced stats. I remember watching LeBron James. It was a conference finals the year that Derrick Rose won MVP. And there was a point in that series that Michael told, it was when he was on the Heat. I got him. I'm going to lock him up. And he did. I've never seen Michael Jordan guard power forwards. I've seen LeBron James guard point guards. So that just gives you an idea of how I look at who's the best. Who does most of the stuff at the highest level, key point, for a long duration of time? The bottom line is Michael Jordan quit twice. Now, some people say, Stan, that's unfair. He lost his father. If you go look at the reports, Michael Jordan, during the Dream Team, even before the Dream Team, some said he was going to retire at the conclusion of those Olympics. The pressure was too much for him. The pressure having to be at your best all the time as a global icon. LeBron James has answered that bell as a husband, as a father, as a philanthropist, as a businessman. And oh, by the way, He didn't have a Hall of Fame coach, never has. And oh, by the way, he didn't play alongside of another 50 greatest player in NBA history every year that he won a championship. LeBron hasn't had that luxury. And I challenge anybody, because we're going to talk about Scottie Pippen on the last 2 episodes coming up tomorrow. Do me a favor, guys, if you get a chance, and anybody that's watching, because everybody likes to say LeBron had D Wade, which he did, right? It's not just having somebody on your roster. Go look at the actual minutes played in playoff basketball, and you'll be surprised. Scottie Pippen played significantly more minutes on the floor with Mike than Dwayne Wade with LeBron. So I'm a LeBron guy.
Yeah, and I never looked at it like that. And I love how you talk about the leadership role, where you don't have to break them down to tear them up. Tony Dungy is one of my favorite coaches of all time.
Love coach. Yeah, man.
He doesn't swear at you. He doesn't swear, period. He doesn't, people respect him based on his knowledge for the game and how he treats his players.
There you go.
And football is a hard sport. I mean, I get it, F you, get up, run faster, this and that.
Right.
But he has won a championship. We love him here too because he was a Gopher. But he didn't have that to get respect from his players.
Right.
And I'm gonna add this, and you guys didn't do this, but this is just a part of my pedigree as a man of faith. The greatest leader that I've ever read about has the initials JC.
Yep.
And I look at his leadership style. He didn't have to do all of that stuff that Michael Jordan has done. Punching teammates, multiple teammates, getting coaches fired, telling the stewardess not to serve Horace Grant on a flight back from a loss in the playoffs. I can't respect that. Now, on the floor, badass. Got busy, obviously. Had some help. People forget Michael Jordan didn't win a damn thing until Scottie Pippen and Phil Jackson showed up.
Yep.
Michael Jordan got swept in some playoff series leading up to Scottie Pippen and those guys arriving. I also give you this. People get on LeBron all the time. Oh, he had to leave to go to Miami to get his rings, right? Okay, I consider that leadership. The people that we revere in the history of this country, they had courage to do what had not been done before. So if you're LeBron, bro, I'm in Cleveland. I've been here for 8 years. I dragged us to the finals as a young buck.
Yeah.
You've given me nothing, Dan Gilbert, to work with. Michael, however, was in Chicago. NBA guys will go to Chicago. It's a fantastic city, as we all know. Scotty was drafted. Horace drafted. B.J. Armstrong, I believe, was the last piece that was drafted before NBA free agency 1988. I could be off, give or take a year. My point, Mike had the luxury of being in Chicago. Guys will come there. And that team was assembled prior to free agency. If Mike played today, he'd have done the exact same thing that LeBron did. Why? Because he's a competitor. And what does Mike tell us in the last episode? Win at all costs. So then how can we victimize LeBron James?
Love it.
Yeah, that's great. This has been awesome, Stan.
Yep.
We appreciate you coming on. Well-versed. Many jobs made you very smart in who you are. So we appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, thanks for listening to me, guys. I'm sorry to your listenership that I bored you guys for half an
No,
hour.
not at all.
I start preaching, man, and I get on it, man. But God bless everybody, man. Y'all take care over there. Hit me up anytime, man, and I'll be tuned in singing your praises. I love what you guys do.
I
Thanks,
appreciate
Stan.
it. Thanks.
Take care, bro. Peace.
Excellent.
Wow.
Great
Again, you can
interview.
find him
Loved it.
at Stan Sportsman. Yeah, I told you guys, he's very knowledgeable,
Beautiful.
passionate. Man, you got to love that.
Yep.
Well, let's get the show rolling.
All right, here we go. So we've got our headlines of the week. So number one, Aaron Rodgers says his desire to stay with Packers for an entire career may not be a reality. He said, quote, I think it was more the surprise of the pick based on my own feelings of wanting to play into my 40s and really the realization that it does change the controllables a little bit. He said in a 40-minute conference call. He also stated, because as much as I feel confident in my abilities and what I can accomplish and what we can accomplish, there are some new factors that are out of my control. Interesting.
Wow.
A little bit of curveball
And another
there.
shocking news: if you wake up early tomorrow morning and look to the east, you'll see the sun rising.
There you go. Excellent. Good job there, Jay.
Yeah.
Number 2, affidavits clear Seahawks, Quentin Dunbar, Giants, DeAndre Baker in alleged robbery, attorney says. Michael Greco, who represents Dunbar, told ESPN that he has five sworn affidavits from witnesses that say his client was not involved in the alleged incident. Smells like money.
What's crazy about this is these same witnesses the police talked to, and that's how they got the warrants for them. So as soon as the lawyer gets them into a room, it's like breaking them off. You know, he just signed
Here's what you did
$10
and
million.
didn't see.
Yeah, here's a $10 million contract I got last year. Let me make it rain.
So just a little background for those that haven't heard or maybe don't know enough. So DeAndre Baker of the New York Giants and Quentin Dunbar of the Seattle Seahawks are said to have robbed other guests at a Florida house party by gunpoint. About $12,000 in cash and watches worth up to $25,000.
Which is funny when you're showing up to a party in a Lamborghini.
Yeah, that was
To rob the place.
The Lambo is their getaway car. Yeah, that's
to rob
like
the place.
that's like Fast and the Furious 28. So that's that.
That's aggressive.
On to number 3. Tualia Tagovailoa transfers to Maryland. He has
Big
made his
Ten bound.
decision. He is coming to the Big Ten. He entered the transfer portal on May 8th and has found his new home with the Terrapins. So that will be an interesting landing spot for him. On to the last one. Since this is episode 24, let's give it up for some updates on the Kobe crash. It is reported now that, first and foremost, the pilot had no alcohol or drugs in his system, and all 9 people on the flight sustained immediate fatal injuries.
How did they know he didn't have anything in his system when he was incinerated?
Yeah,
I don't think there was a body found.
Well, autopsies revealed. So,
okay. He was sober.
2020 here. So
Let's stick with the professionals on this one.
Yeah.
So still sad thing, but good updates as of that. So that's all I got for this week as headlines.
Great job.
Thank you.
All right.
School's in session.
Time to get learned.
Learning time. All right. May 16th, today in history. Buckle up. 1869, Cincinnati Reds play their first baseball game. They won 41-7. If only baseball still scored like that, maybe it'd be fun. 1894, fire in Boston destroys the baseball stadium and 170 other buildings. Must have been windy. 1920, Joan of Arc canonized a saint. Did I say that word right?
Canonized?
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
History major here.
St. Paul Saint?
No, like the real kind of saint.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought.
Like God's saint.
Okay.
Like, miracles and crap.
In 1927, New York Yankee Bob Musil steals second, third, and home. Unbelievable.
Lucky.
1947, Billie Holiday arrested in her New York apartment for possession of narcotics.
No way.
Yeah. 1953, Phillies' Kurt Simmons gives up a single and then retires the next 27 in a row.
That's got to suck.
Yeah.
How
How pissed would you be?
Can I take a mulligan?
1955, Black Jack Morris, Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher, was born in St. Paul, Minnesota. Every time I hear St. Paul, it reminds me of the Mighty Ducks. Mike Reeves, Burnsville, Minnesota.
Quack.
Yep. 1964, John Sally, NBA star of the badass Detroit Pistons, was born.
Yikes.
1975, Muhammad Ali KOs Ron Lyle in 11 for a heavyweight boxing title. 2 years later, in 77, Ali beats Alfredo Evangelist in 15 for the boxing title. 1980, the 34th NBA championship. The LA Lakers beat the Philadelphia 76ers 4-2. 1985, year I was born. Michael Jordan named Rookie of the Year. Weird. Next year, he tore his ACL and was out. 1986, Top Gun, directed by Tony Scott, and starring Tom Cruise premieres.
Beautiful.
I think the new one's supposed to come out here in about a year or so.
Maverick.
Oh
That's what
God.
it's called.
Yeah, it is called Maverick.
Just a great flick.
Oh, Goose.
Oh,
R.I.P.
Val
Goose.
Kilmer. I
Oh,
model
Val.
my
the
hair after
Iceman?
I model my hair after the Iceman.
Oh,
God, you just like that scene where they're playing volleyball in short shorts and sweating, no shirts.
Done that a million times.
1992. Smells Like Nirvana by Weird Al Yankovic. Hits number 35 on the charts.
oh my God. I can't stand him.
1996. Sammy Sosa is the first Chicago Cub to hit 2 home runs in 1 inning.
With or without a cork bat.
With 2003, this was a sad day. NHL Western Conference Final. Anaheim Ducks beat the Minnesota Wild 4-0. Shut up, Greg. 2013.
I remember watching the game.
Dick Trickle, American race car driver,
What's his
commits.
name?
Dick Trickle.
Imagine that.
One of the best Tom Cruise movies out there is when he's Cole Trickle in Days of Thunder. When they're wheelchair racing, and oh man, that's phenomenal. Cole Trickle, he was his wife was in that movie too at the time.
Nicole Kidman.
So this is sad though, Dick. He committed suicide by gunshot
geez.
at 71. So R.I.P. Dick.
Yeah.
2019, just last year, UK talk show The Jeremy Kyle Show, axed by ITV after a guest dies. Now, I'd like to research this a little more. So did Jeremy Kyle just, hey, welcome GBG to the show, and then, he had a heart attack or got murdered?
Or was he axed? That's what I want to know.
Oh.
Yeah, kind of like in the end of the Joker.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, Greg. Spoiler
Spoiler
alert.
alert. Okay, we've
Jesus.
been living in isolation for the last 2 months. If you're not caught up on every movie, it's fair game.
Unbelievable.
The movie came out like 6 months ago. Fair game.
All right.
Well, hope you got learned.
I learned.
Whoo! We got a new game, brand new game. Just came up with it yesterday. It's called the Jersey Color Game.
What? Okay, I'm ready.
I'm just as nervous as you, Greg.
This is Mike's favorite part of the show.
Welcome to the Twist Jersey Color Game with your host, Mike Reeves. Your contestants to my right, 4-time weekly champ Matt Benz.
In a row.
And Greg Green Bay Bauman.
Just so the viewers and listeners know, I am on fire currently.
He's heating up.
No,
a lot of asterisks.
3 is heating up. 4 is on fire. So right now I'm on fire.
You-
Greg's
you-
due.
You beat a curler with a tape delay.
Hey.
You cheated, which my mom called you out on.
Whatever,
I don't
Terry
know about
Michaels.
that. Contact the
Prove
Players
it.
Association.
We're
I don't
lawyered up
wanna
over
hear
here.
it.
Daly and Marouche, bring it.
Shout out.
I had steak over there last night. We're lawyered up.
Thanks, John, for the steak.
Yeah, I was gonna say they get a lot of free plugs on our show for
Jersey Color Game.
Go ahead.
So I have some trivia questions where the answer will be the jersey color of that team name. Question number 1. I wore these colors before I won a Super Bowl in Denver.
Greg,
Greg.
white and blue.
That's right. Peyton Manning, white and blue for the Colts. GBG
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Now I see all the
Okay.
games played.
All right.
on the board.
Okay. Yep.
Question number 2. My team colors matched my dad's from his first team. My team colors,
Matt,
Matt.
purple and yellow.
Yep, that would be Thaddeus
Thaddeus Moss.
and Randy Moss, LSU, and the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Ben's on the board.
Good question.
What do you guys think so far? You
Good
like?
game. Good game.
Yeah. All right, this one I like. I would not volunteer to wear this color out of Tennessee.
Greg,
Greg,
orange and white.
orange.
Orange.
I said color, so I'll take orange. GBG up to.
Wait, what?
You would not
Go ahead.
volunteer.
I would not volunteer.
Okay.
Tennessee Volunteers.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
this
why I
is
said.
tricky.
That's why I said I like this.
Keep going.
Woo. Question number 4. This city's team colors are the same for their baseball, football, and hockey professional
Greg.
teams. Greg.
Pittsburgh, gold and black. Or what yellow?
Black and yellow. The Steelers, Pirates, and Penguins all share the same colors. GBG up 3-1.
Good for you, Greg.
All right. Question number 5. This is a toughie. The jersey color game. Twist. RTF Sports Network. It took a little luck with this team to win my only championship after leaving Minnesota.
Matt.
Green.
Green. Kevin Garnett, Boston Celtics.
Yeah, buddy.
I like the luck. I knew it right on.
Oh! These are the ugliest colors in the NFL.
Matt, Greg.
Green and yellow.
Yeah!
He's coming back.
Tie game. Oh, God, this is good. All right, six down, 5 remaining with the tie ball game. Question number 7. This baseball team colors, whatever color, are named after a mean bird. Matt. Baseball team color named after a mean bird.
Orange.
Greg?
Red and white. Cardinals.
What is it?
Doge. The Blue Jays.
How are we both not both right? Mean bird.
Because
that was the
Blue
answer.
Jays are known for being mean birds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just guessed the.
I googled it.
I
I wasn't sure, so I googled Cardinals, Blue Jays. You know, Blue Jays have always been notorious as a mean bird.
I'm a lot of things. One is not a zoologist.
Doge is on the board. I forgot it.
Where's he at? There he is.
There he is. Doge on the board.
Oh, I love it.
Fantastic.
At Cardboard Doge.
Question number 8. I played football for 2 teams that shared the same color. My last name is a state, and I'm a quarterback.
Greg.
Montana,
red and
Red.
Red.
Red would be the answer. That is right. Greg takes a lead of 4-3 to 1 with 3 questions to go.
Okay.
I played for 3 NFL teams, and the first 2 shared a color. I won a Super Bowl and played quarterback.
Greg. Green.
That's right.
I hate to correct you, but he started with the Falcons, so it wasn't his first 2 teams.
God.
Favre you're talking about.
I am talking about Favre. He was drafted by the Falcons. He didn't play.
First year. Played 1 year there.
That's right, he did. I played for 4 teams, and the 2 in the middle share a color. All right, Greg takes
I was like, what's the answer to this question?
Greg takes a 2-question lead.
Oh, I need it.
With 2 questions to go, this will be a tough game to come up with a fly question, but I hope Matt gets the last 2.
Let's go.
Number 10. I have faith in you here, Matt. A famous video game was named after a famous coach of this team.
Greg.
Black
and silver.
Wow. That's the game, folks.
Good job, Greg.
1 question to go. We might as well do it. Question number 11.
This is where you walk, strut.
We have neon in our jerseys. This is easy.
Matt.
Neon green.
Oh, you want me to guess the team?
Team and colors, yeah.
Green and blue.
There you go.
All right.
That's right.
Could have been the Seahawks or the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
I don't know which one he was going for.
Wolves and Seahawks.
Oh!
Either or, baby.
That should be 2 points.
Either or. Wow.
Good job, Greg. Chief, that one was for you. Greg got you one.
He
got you one.
Back in the winners column.
Make them go viral, Chief.
That was a fun one. You know, I was just kind of playing
Something
around.
different. I liked it. Yeah.
Let's get a new game going.
Yeah.
And
Like it.
yeah. So
All right.
let's get down to business here.
Sure.
Let's see if I did.
Oh. For all you viewers out there, make sure that you're slapping that share button here real quick. Slap it.
Smash the share.
I like slap it. Slap that share button.
Slap it a share.
Slapping the base.
Slap it a share.
Go ahead. Share it.
All
God, that just
right.
gets you
God,
jump,
doesn't it?
it?
Oh, half
Woo,
jump,
half
goosebumps. I'm feeling good. So we are going to pick our division winners.
Yeah.
Both out of the AFC and NFC.
Sure.
Out of every division. So we're not going to get too in-depth today. Just who we like out of every division. So we're going to start in the AFC. Starting in the AFC North.
AFC North.
We got the Steelers, the Browns, the Bengals, and the Ravens. Greg.
You got to go with the Ravens, especially because they took my guy, Queen. They only got better. They were head and shoulders above everyone else, and they only got better.
So I have the Ravens as well. However, I have the Steelers only losing by 1 win.
Oh.
Think about that. Yeah, Big Ben. Watch out. Comeback player of the year.
There you go, Chief. I also have the Ravens. I have them going 15-1.
That's aggressive.
I have them 12-4. So that's impressive.
If Lamar stays healthy, Greg mentioned Patrick Queen. I think one of their biscuits, their best gets was J.K. Dobbins out of Ohio State. I think he's going to get some good play. They're just going to be running. You can give it to Gus. Unbelievable. All right. So we all have the Ravens. Yep. AFC South.
Yeah.
Colts, Texans, Jags, and Titans.
So I have the Jaguars not winning a game this season, 0-16.
I have them 3-13.
And I have the Colts taking the division at 14-2 record.
Are one of those 2 losses to the Vikings?
Yes. No.
Yeah, I know. We already did that. You bastard!
No, it's not.
Unbelievable. Greg.
This is a tough one. I'm going to go with the Colts too, but the Titans are good.
Yep,
Titans are looking good.
are.
I think that the Texans are going to go 6-10.
Boom. 6-10 is where I got them.
Yeah, really pathetic. So it's a 2-team race, but I'm going to go with the Colts.
I also have the Colts going 13-3, winning the division, with the Titans making the playoffs at 10-6.
Beautiful.
AFC East.
Believe it or not, I'll go. I got a sleeper, I think. Well, a sleeper. It's so funny. Yeah, the Patriots are going to win the division, going 9-7.
Ooh!
What?
All right.
Yeah,
so
okay,
first off, the AFC East, we got the Bills,
Yep.
the Patriots, the Jets, and the Dolphins. And Ben's just says 9-7 takes
defense.
the division. I also have the Patriots 9-7 losing the division to the Buffalo Bills, who go 11-5. Both teams make the playoffs.
I got Bills going 7-9.
See, I have the Bills going 10-6,
Okay.
but I also am sweeping the Patriots. I think this is their year.
Me too.
And I only
got
think
Diggsy.
I only think one team comes out of that division for the playoffs, though.
Yeah.
Even though you're letting 3 in,
Sure.
I think that this is the Bills' year. They've done enough. They brought in enough
I still
talent.
have a lot of faith in Belichick. So we'll see.
And
We'll
I
It's
see them
interesting.
getting in at 9-7.
Yep.
So the last playoff team is in the AFC West. The Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, and Broncos, at least for me.
Yeah.
This is a no-brainer.
Sure.
Chiefs, landslide?
Yeah.
I think Chiefs landslide, but somebody I like is the Raiders. I think the Raiders, I got them going 12-4.
Ooh.
So the Las Vegas, I don't know if NFL is a little puppeteery. Maybe you'll see them pull some strings, but Raiders, keep an eye out.
Well,
Chiefs for sure.
I have the Chiefs in that 14-2, 13-3, but I have the Broncos as my wild card team coming out of that division.
Yeah.
I think that
if they get Cam Newton, like Stan said, I love that fit there.
I think Drew Lock can take him to the playoffs. That would be interesting, though, if Cam Newton if something were to happen. That was just an example he brought up.
Yeah.
Someone getting hurt that is at that next level. But I think Drew Lock, they gave him enough talent to make the playoffs. Yep.
So my playoff guys out of the AFC are the Ravens, Steelers, Titans, Colts, Patriots, Bills, and Chiefs. Let's head into the NFC. We will end in our division, the North. Let's start over in the West. We got the Niners, the Rams, the Seahawks, and the Cardinals. I think this is going to be
a barn burner.
This division is insane because all the teams are, for the first time in a long time, pretty darn good.
Sure. So I've got the Seahawks taking it 15-1 record this year.
Wow.
And I have the Rams going 2-12 this year.
Wow.
Crumbling.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that's
there's
insane.
trouble in LA.
Wow, that's
especially if they can't play in LA this year and they have to go elsewhere as well.
Going.
I mean, they never get a home to play at, really. But still, yeah, Rams 2-12, Seahawks 15-1.
Well, if you got them going 2-1, no, the Jags, you got getting Trevor
I was
Lawrence.
gonna say you don't believe in parity.
Yeah.
You got like 8-9 teams that are gonna be 15-1, and I think you have 6 teams that aren't gonna win a game.
So who do you got coming out of the?
Just one team that won't win a game.
I got the 49ers, and I have 2 teams making the playoffs other than the 49ers. I have the Seahawks and the Cardinals both making the playoffs.
Okay,
we have 3 playoff teams.
Yeah.
Wild card teams, I should say. I think 2 of the wild card teams are coming out of the West.
So we'll do your playoff predictions at the end. I also have the 49ers, but they end with the same record as the Seahawks, just take more of a divisional lead. So they take the division. I got the Rams 10-6 and the Cardinals 9-7. So both of them, all 4 above 500. So from the West Coast all the way over to the East Coast, we got the Cowboys, Eagles, Giants, Redskins.
Yeah.
Who you got?
This is pathetic. I think that even though the Eagles did a lot, and I know that the Cowboys have a lot of talent, I think the Eagles are going to win this at 9-7, and the next best is 6-10, 7-9 with the Cowboys. I don't think any of them. I don't know. I'm not afraid of any of those teams.
I got the Cowboys going 14-2.
And believe it or not, I got the Eagles going. What's their record, Greg?
Eagles? What do you have? At 2-14, 1-15?
No, 15-1.
You have them going 15-1.
Yep. That's what happens. Hey,
You're
go
very-
ahead and check out Just for Clicks. It's another show on RTF Sports Network. This is where we got the playoff predictor that I did about 10 minutes before the show. And this is just what the records came out to be.
Speaking of.
So, Just for Clicks is on the board. Thanks for that playoff predictor.
Part of the RTF Sports Network family. Go to
umbrella,
RTF
yeah,
Sports
that's what it
Network.
came out with, Greg. I didn't
.com.
choose it that way. It just
You did choose it because you choose
Well,
it.
I didn't
win,
You
win,
went
win,
week by
win,
week,
win.
and that's just what happened. So based on their schedule, that's
I
what
had the
got.
Chiefs going 16-0.
Yeah, think about it.
All right, well, that's rowdy.
How about the South?
So 2 Eagles and a Cowboy. Let's go to the South.
Yeah,
It's going to be another fun one. The Bucks, the Saints, the Falcons, and the Panthers.
yeah. So you get 2 teams out of this that go to the playoffs. But I got
Agreed.
The Bucks taking it, and I know there's so much hype, and I don't want to believe the hype, but based on their games, week in and week out, I got them going 13-3. And then the Saints going 12-4.
I have one team going to the playoffs out of this division. And before you guys think I'm an idiot,
Oh, I don't think you're
just
ready yet.
wait.
He's going to say it's the Bucks, and then he'd sound like
No,
Oh.
it's the Saints.
Sure.
But keep in mind, I also have 2 wildcard teams coming out of the West. I only have 1 spot left.
Yeah, I knew that when you said that.
Yep.
I have the Saints going 15-1, the Bucks going 12-4. Falcons and Panthers are on a slippery slope. And let's end it in the best division in the whole NFL.
Yep.
The NFC North. Greg?
I have the Packers winning it at 12-4, and I have the Vikings at 11-5, comfortably making it in the playoffs.
I have those exact 2 records for those exact 2 teams, Vikings and Packers, both making the playoffs, but with the Packers winning the division.
And I have the Vikes at 11-5.
So we all have them at
Winning the
11-5.
division.
Yeah.
Winning the division
Yep.
at 11-5.
I just think that we've talked about this so often. When it comes down, you're playing your own division, 2 games each team, and the Packers and Vikings have the benefit of having 2 atrocious teams that they have to play against.
Right.
So
shout out Just for Clicks. I have the Lions at 3-13. They are
which
not
I think is generous.
winning the division.
No, and I was on there as a guest
Yeah.
earlier this week, and Michael Buckheister said that the Lions will win the division. I said I will cut off my left nipple if that happens. So if the Lions win, Twist Nation, you can vote. You can cheer for it. I'll do it on this show. I will cut off my left nipple.
Are we going to do that like we do the fishbowl bet before the show, where you have to sit
God.
through the show with 1 nipple?
I'll just do it right at the beginning. Just
With
woo!
a toenail clipper.
All
Stop it.
right, time for some twist topics.
Put your hands together for the twist topics of the week.
All right.
Time for your twist topics. We got 5 of them here. Let's go.
Quiz topic number 1.
Zion allegedly received improper benefits. Is this surprising, or does it even matter?
This is surprising. Remember earlier when I said that, if you look to the east tomorrow morning, the sun's going to come up? Later on tonight, if you look to the west, the sun's going to set. Oh my God, a high-profile athlete got paid. Here's what the problem is. Someone wanted their money once he made it to the pros, and, mommy and daddy Zion ain't paying up. That's where the problem is.
Yeah.
These guys, if you're going to take money when you're in high school or in college, when you start making the big coin, you got to pay back those people. That's the only reason why this becomes a story.
And the hogwash of it all is just to realize, it's coming from, he's being sued by his former agent, who he basically said, I don't want to sign with you anymore.
Yeah.
And this contract's null and void. I'm going here. So it's like, how desperate are you as an agent to basically burn to the ground your whole career as an agent simply because you think that you're going to get this cash? You know what I mean? You're literally saying, anybody that I would ever take on, if you leave me, I'm going to expose all your dirty laundry, which is horrible. They're basically throwing his mom and his dad under the bus, saying that they received gifts. If you don't think Zion, that's the thing about it too. I think he got paid, but my big thing is I don't think that Coach K knew about it, or at least he's oblivious to it. Because I don't believe that Coach K would stake his reputation on paying Zion to come there. He doesn't need to do that. Duke's a program that doesn't need to do that.
And Zion's a one-year guy.
Right. So if it was between your future agent and hey, we're going to take care of your family, not Duke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it's, hey, we'll take care of you now, but you got to sign with me once you go pro.
Yeah, let's just throw out numbers. We'll give you, my agency will give your family $100,000 right now.
Right.
You give me $150,000 within 3 years from now.
Sure.
Once you make the big time money in the NBA, and then now Zion, let's just say Zion's coming back saying, I don't know who you are.
Right.
That's something that, I agree that Coach K doesn't need to know about.
Yeah.
It's not like he's getting paid $100,000, $150,000 to go to Duke.
Right.
Yeah. So
That's
there's a huge difference there.
Yep.
I think the only time it matters is in a Reggie Bush situation where they try and take accolades away from you after.
Yeah, sure.
That's when it sucks, because it's like, well, what do you mean I didn't win the Heisman?
Yeah.
You want to come to my house and take my Heisman? Fuck you.
There's only one reason why you should take the Heisman away from someone, and that's if they kill their ex-wife and her friend.
Allegedly. It didn't fit, Greg.
Yeah. All I'm saying is this is bad for the NCAA simply because the next Zion is going to the G League. He ain't coming.
That's true.
He's going to go get paid where he can do it and not have stuff like this.
$500K.
Yeah, why not? Plus endorsements.
Yeah. Quiz topic number 2.
Is the NFL trying to take away from the NBA by scheduling Christmas Day games? Why can't they just all play in the sandbox nicely together?
Because it's a sandbox full of $100 bills. Yes, of course they are. It's brilliant. I like watching basketball, but on Christmas, I'd way rather be watching football.
I thought it was funny,
especially the Vikings this year.
Well,
Merry Christmas.
Well, yeah, when they were interviewing Zimmer the day after the schedule came out, they said, "Well, we're going to ask him what it's like to play on Christmas," and I'm like, "Who gives a damn?" And then I thought about it. I'm like, "Wait a second, that's a Friday game."
Yeah.
First of all, I honestly, as much as I would love to have football, I don't like it. I like having the NBA on Christmas Day because. For me, it's early enough in the season where if you miss part of it, you can still be with family and stuff. Whereas for me, Thanksgiving is you plan your meals around games.
Yeah.
And that there's that 45-minute window between the first game, between the Lions game and the Dallas game.
Yeah.
And you can eat during that time. And then you got the night game, whatever that always turns out to be. But I don't like it.
I 100% agree. I am a traditionalist, okay? Christmas is all about traditions. And it's all about the NBA, Thanksgiving, NFL, tradition, NBA, they're just bullying.
Yeah.
They are bullying.
It's just another reason for me to leave Christmas just a little early.
Oh, that's true.
To get home, get my bike stuff on.
Selfish.
Get it going.
Selfish.
It's all right.
Twist topic number 3.
Yeah.
MLB owners approved a plan to start baseball over the 4th of July. Are you ready for some baseball?
Of course I'm ready for some baseball, but it doesn't sound like a lot of the athletes itself are. I hope the majority actually are and want to, but they're just crying.
Their unemployment checks are too fat, apparently.
From Blake Snell saying, I got to get mine to risk my life. Bro, I risk my life way more than you putting bread on shelves every day.
Yeah.
I do not want to hear about how you're risking your life because you're probably going to get a test every day where even if I wanted to get a test right now, I couldn't. And you're going to have the best doctors and you're going to have all these stipulations like boo-hoo. So because they're taking a cut, whatever, I'm not getting into it. But yeah, I'm ready for some baseball. Let's go.
Yeah. American baseball.
Yeah.
Not that Korean, Japanese bullshit that's on ESPN too.
Yeah, it's 4 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of it. You know what?
Yeah.
Whoever wants to play, pay them. If you don't want to play, you know what? Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Just play.
Yeah.
Something. Get something on the TV that I can watch.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll be putting bread on the shelves.
Twist topic number 4.
Yeah.
Does the NBA need a champion this year, no matter the cost?
Yes. Yes. Oh, please.
Here's the thing is that there's been, since I was a kid, so you're talking a pretty long time, there's always been this argument that
87 years.
Is the NBA season too long?
Yes.
They always talk about, can we shorten the season? Can we shorten the season? This is a perfect example. Every team had about 10 to 12 games left in the season before the playoffs. The NBA needs a champion. They need that champion to be one of 3 teams. Either needs to be the Bucks, who were competing with that 70-win season throughout the year, prove they're the best team in the East, or they need the Clippers or the Lakers.
Sure.
Because those were, head and shoulders. Head and shoulders the 2 best teams in the West. You need one of those 3 teams to win to prove that, you know what, this playoff was a result of what the regular season, came up with.
Right.
If you have the Heat who were just playing good towards the last week or so, or the Nuggets or the Jazz, if you have one of those teams win, then everyone's going to say, you know what, what's the point of having 82 games? We can have a 40-game season.
See, I hate it. I hate to say it because we're still in limbo in our fantasy basketball, which I'm in first place, and it's like F. But anyway, I would just end the season now.
Yeah.
Take the standings as is.
Yeah.
Start the playoffs
Right.
and get a champ. Absolutely, 100%. You don't want the 2020 or 2019, 2020 season to be blank.
Right.
It'll just say Corona.
Like you said, though, keep the playoffs, roll it right out. Don't expand the playoff. Those teams didn't earn it. They didn't earn their spot. They couldn't finish the way too long season. So yeah, there you go. Brilliant.
Perfect. In agreement.
Yep.
Twist topic number 5.
So this one's interesting. James Harrison came out again, said Mike Tomlin handed him an envelope of cash after a big hit.
Yeah.
He actually said an envelope. He didn't say cash. I added it, but we all know it's not tickets to Valley Fair. Do you think teams pay, and I don't think this is a bounty gate, but I think this is a matter of, do you think that teams out there are paying the fines for these big hits?
Which is why he had to come back and make the statement. Now, maybe my dad's still listening to the show.
Chief, you out there?
My dad's a retired police chief. If I was driving in his jurisdiction with him and I said, hey, Dad, what's the speed limit? And he said 50, and I get pulled over because the speed limit was actually 40 and he was wrong.
You just say, you know who my dad is?
No, if he was in the car, he would probably, you know what, because he's a great guy, help pay my fine. Tomlin probably told Harrison, I want you, when this guy goes over the middle, hit him right between the numbers, blah, blah. He didn't get flagged for a penalty for an illegal hit. Right. But the league came in and said that's illegal. That becomes the coach's responsibility as the authority figure to tell him what isn't legal. So if Tomlin covered, if Tomlin passed the hat around the locker room, coaching staff went to the general manager, went to the owner and said, hey, I told this guy that this was going to be a legal hit, and it turns out that it wasn't. Yeah. At some point, as an authority figure, you take responsibility. And I think Tomlin did the right thing. And I think it happens all the time.
Yeah, I mean, if you're watching The Last Dance, there was an exchange of $100 bill basically to pay for Rodman's parking ticket, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here, take this, pay for your ticket. You know, it's just like, come on, man.
See, and I don't necessarily agree, you know, with you, Greg, that Tomlin was like, if he crosses the middle, hit him between the numbers. I just think that's pretty obvious. I think teams out there don't have a bounty gate. If you hurt this guy, we're going to give you XYZ.
Right.
But they have bonuses outside of their contract.
Incentives. Yeah.
Yep. So it's like, holy shit, you rocked that, dude. Here's $5,000 or something like that. I don't know if they're. I do. You know, they were talking about it on ESPN First Take. It was an ex-NFL player came out and said that wasn't something new where you would just get extra incentives paid to you on the side for having a good game or a pick six or stuff like that. That's not necessarily in your contract.
Just like in high school, if you stole the ball in basketball from the defending team, you got a Snickers.
If I'm James Harrison and I'm signing a contract and I say, look, the NFL, I might get fined $275,000 this year for the way I play, and you're going to absolutely pay for it.
Right.
And that's an under-the-table thing. And I think the Steelers say, you play you, we'll pay for you.
Beautiful.
All right, folks, we're going to go into my final thought. Last week, I talked about different things about not being a sheep. What I ask everyone to do as the country's starting to reopen here in Minnesota, a lot of things are going to be opening up on Monday. And what I ask people to do is be respectful, but don't say outlandishly stupid things on social media. Don't make comments that say, I'm only going to buy American. I'm only going to do this when you're actually probably posting from a device manufactured in China. Do things that are responsible. If you want to support homegrown businesses, find out where the local farmers market is. Find that local Bill's Toggery, a local
Shout
place,
out Billy.
a local place that's supporting the community. Don't make stupid comments that in the long run are just going to make you look like an idiot. Our country needs the world's economy to survive. So yes, it is important that we do have Chinese products and, Taiwan products and products from France, products from Canada. But you know what? Where you can help.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that find those opportunities, post about those opportunities. If there's a farmer's market on Sunday from noon to 2 down the road from your house at the local church, express that. Have people buy their fruits and vegetables there. That helps them. That's all I got.
Beautiful, Greg. Beautiful thought.
That's Greg's final thought, and that is the show. Episode 24 in the books. Episode 25, Benzino's going out of town, so it is going to be on a new day and a new time. Next week, we'll see you Friday at 5:30 p.m. Central. And for all you RTFers, that's 6:30.
Beautiful.
Adios. Hasta luego.